Greetings, Missouri Mid-South Conference. I bring you greetings from my darkened office on the last day that I am in the conference office of 2017 before I head home to Houston and then before we travel to Las Cruces, New Mexico for Christmas. Why in the world am I bringing greetings to you with the lights, most of the lights, off in my office? And that is because I wanted to share with you that one of my favorite times of the year is approaching. And yes, Christmas is one of those, but actually it's a few days before, and it is December 21st, Winter Solstice. Now, what I love about the solstice in each of our seasons is that it's this time to honor the changing of the seasons, that there is a rhythm, not only in our seasons, but the rhythm in our spirituality, in our own lives. And my confession to you today is that I love the winter solstice. I love darkness. I love waking up in the morning when it's still dark. I know, that's a little bit odd. I love when I leave work, it's dark. Even though probably 90% of the population loves to wake up when it's bright and sunny outside and loves to go home from work when it's bright and sunny and it's going to stay that way until 9 o'clock in the evening, I'm the opposite. And I haven't quite figured out what that personality trait is that those of us who love the darkness or love the nighttime, what that says about us. But I love winter solstice because it is the longest night of the year. Something about the beginning of winter that invites us to see and to experience this longest night. And for some of us, I get that nighttime brings up the stuff of our fears, of our childhood fears, of that which we try to run away from as we get busy and busy and busy. And then nighttime is the time when we're supposed to slow down and go to sleep and get a good night's sleep and rest. But that's when sometimes our fears catch up with us and we can't get that sleep. For some, this is one of the reasons why they don't like the nighttime. But for me, I have found solace and goodness. And just like for me, the winter is this beautiful rhythm of creation and our spiritual lives, where there is a barrenness, where there is a chill, where it is sometimes really ugly and not pretty. And yet, what I also honor, and I think that what winter solstice honors, is that in the winter, in the barrenness of our lives, whether it is the physical or the emotional or the psychological or the spiritual, in those moments when we feel like everything within us and about us has gone away and we are left bare. That is the very moment where we look inward and draw on the resources of God's image within us. I appreciate that in many of our churches that we honor this barrenness and this winter solstice and this time of the year that is really challenging for people through the Blue Christmas service. To say to our members and our neighbors and to ourselves, even though we may have the beautiful lights and we may have the beautiful Christmas tree and the festivities and the joy all around us, there may be moments where we have deep sadness, where we have deep sorrow from memories, from losses that we have experienced, from a depth of pain that no one should experience, and that we bring that with us to this moment of Christmas. But what the winter solstice and our Blue Christmases services have done is to honor that we bring those vulnerable parts of us that, like the trees around us, are barren, are vulnerable, and must dig deep into the very marrow of our being to dig into that which God has called us to be. So for you and for me and for our neighbors and our families around us, as we journey into this last week of Advent, as we journey into this time of celebration and festivity, I invite you to honor the places of darkness that are beautiful, that are filled with our vulnerability, that have a richness of who and whose we are, even and especially when the depth of who we are is in sadness and sorrow. So on this winter solstice, as we journey towards God's love being born in surprising ways, may you know that you are not alone in the darkest and longest night of the year, but the Holy One who created you will create within you the nurture and the goodness and the depth to live out your winter solstice and your winter season, this day and night and forevermore. Amen.